Earth to San Jose. The power play is supposed to be an advantage. Well, that was fun. And by fun, I mean that was insanely hard to watch. Complete 180 from the last game. But like I said, the Oilers needed to sustain their pressure. They did lack that game. They sustained it. Sharks just kept falling off and falling off. They just got worse as the game went instead of better as they did in the previous performance. So it pretty much the roles switched right there, and it was pretty crazy. And as the Sharks, I mean, what was that? 0 for 6 on the power play with 2 shorties against? What? Like, I know you're missing Jumbo, but my goodness. When a team is high-sticking you, throwing elbows, cross-checking you in the back, like, the least you could do is capitalize. Make them pay for it, or else they're not going to stop. They're going to keep doing the same thing because they're not being punished on the scoreboard. And, crazy. Bit ridiculous there. There were certain parts of the game that I kind of liked for the Sharks. They had a couple good shifts in there where they got, like, some pressure in. They just weren't putting it on the net, man. They couldn't get it towards the net cleanly. They didn't, the traffic shots that they had weren't going through, and just, it seemed like they're just trying to be too cute with it at times, and just they weren't connecting, and they were just beating their heads against the wall trying to do the same thing over and over again, and there's no adjustments on the power play whatsoever. Keep giving up odd man rushes, and my goodness, I mean, it's pretty bad. It was very, very terrible game by the Sharks, and I don't mean to take anything away from the Edmonton, but when the Sharks are playing that bad, I mean, how did you only get 2 goals in, in my opinion? How do you only score 2? Well, Martin Jones is how you only score 2. He had a bunch of huge saves in there, and no support from the rest of his team. It kind of reminded me of the Stanley Cup all over again, which I don't like. I don't like that. I don't like to be reminded of that, and I don't want to see that for right now, especially in the first round against an inexperienced team such as the Oilers. But again, man, the Oilers deserve to win this one tonight. They definitely did, and the Sharks played flat. They better find something at home, and they better fix that power play because the Oilers keep taking these penalties, man. They are completely undisciplined in so many ways. I mean, flying sticks, Lucic sticking someone after hitting someone, just uncontrolled, like no control over his body and his stuff. Like, you have to be able to capitalize on these things when they're taking penalties like that. Sharks, sure, you're playing disciplined, you're not taking any bad penalties, but you also have no power play. And when Jumbo comes back, it better be there. I don't know. If not, then you guys are, I don't know. You're kind of screwed, man. You have to just want to keep it to 5-on-5 and figure something out. But yeah, it was a pretty tough game to watch at times, especially considering just, I don't know, just their performance last night and how they just dominated after the first period. And, the Oilers just didn't let off the gas pedal, and I felt like the Sharks started playing hesitant. There is one thing in there that I don't like is the first big hit by Kassian was on Dylan, and that was direct head contact. Now, it's hard to tell, like, in-game, that's a hard one to call, especially in the playoffs, but, watching that back, at first, I didn't even think there was head contact. I remember listening, I'm streaming it and listening to the radio because I couldn't stand, the announcers, and, I heard Brett Hedican, one of the Sharks radio guys, said that's a headshot. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, didn't look like a headshot to me, man. It looks like a pretty clean hit. But, like, watching it back, yeah, principal point of contact was the head. It was blindside. Dylan did reach out, and so his head did go down a bit. But it also looked like Kassian left his feet, not as a result of the hit itself. But, again, it's hard to tell. I do hope the league takes a look at it because despite how fast Dylan, popped back up, it did still kind of look like a dangerous hit. Now, no. The second one to Couture, that was pretty clean. That was just a monstrous hit. Couture wasn't prepared for it. It did look like Kassian left his feet, but again, I think that one was just because of the contact. It was a pretty huge contact along the boards, and that was a rocking hit, man. Like, props to Kassian for that one. That was just insane, man. And again, Couture popped right back up. But yeah, the Sharks, they didn't play physically back. They just they couldn't get their forecheck going. Everything was sloppy. Like I said, it's pretty much a 180. They're playing as sloppy as the Oilers were in the last game. And you know, they got punished for it. Didn't even get a goal. They did it even break 20 shots? Probably not. Like I said, this is almost like a mirror image of like the two games like back and forth. So I'm glad they were able to steal one on the road. And I'm glad they did rest Jumbo, but I'm hoping he's back at home. I'm thinking that's like I said in this last video, I think they rested him because that they'd just already stolen one on home. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe he just isn't better yet. So who knows? I think I tackled all the main points I wanted to. Yeah, that power play, man, just so bad. Just so bad. Like, that's just terrible. Like, it's just, you're not even generating chances. I think you had less shots than you had power plays. It was just atrocious. And then to give up 2 shorties, like, on 2 odd man rushes, like, oh, man. Not good to watch. I mean, you can't blame Jonesy. He made huge saves. And after all those odd man rushes, he's going to get beat, all right? He's only human, all right? So, yeah, Sharks need to do a better job making them pay for their mistakes. Like, they're a young team. They're going to make mistakes. The Sharks have to be that team, the experienced team, to make them pay for it. And tonight, they just seemed afraid to do anything without thinking and double thinking, and they played sloppy. And some bad plays by Pavs, the captain. You know, when he's playing like that sucks. But yeah, missing shots, missing passes, like, just not a good game from San Jose, and they just never got it going. And I mean, they came out okay. They came out decently, but they couldn't, after that, they just couldn't keep it going. So, hey, man, what can you do? Series tied 2-2, going back into San Jose. You know, it's a whole new series now, best of 5 now. So, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping San Jose, they better respond. And I want to see him respond to the physicality, especially if the whistles are going to be put away for big hits, go for it, man. Like, don't succumb to any after whistle stuff like they did. You know, was it Maroon taking a couple stupid penalties, one of them after the whistle, the really hard cross from the back. Don't succumb to that. Just respond to their physical game. That's what you need to do, especially in the Shark Tank, because the crowd's going to feed off that, and then you feed off the crowd. So those are my tips definitely going into game number 3. Congratulations, Edmonton. Solid victory. You deserved it. And the Sharks blew it. I mean, you did what you needed to do. You capitalized on the Sharks' mistakes, and you made them pay for not bringing it 100%, like we did the same to you guys in Game 1. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. And, yeah, don't know what else to say to that besides, Sharks, fix your power play. Fuck. Painful to watch, guys. But anyway, I'll see you guys after the next game.